Hey guys, welcome to Trad Paints. We're working on an aqueduct today. I put it together in the last video, and today we're going to paint it all up, put a bunch of green on it, pour some resin, call it done. Right here I'm just using a little bit of Vallejo mud, a little bit of this, a little bit of sand, and we're going to get ourselves a nice looking river bottom. Yeah, just go ahead and smush that around with your finger a little bit, get in all the cracks and crevices. Here I'm taking a little bit of that sculpt mold plaster and just reattaching it with some drywall putty actually. And again, just getting in all those little cracks and crevices. We're going to end up pouring a little bit of resin in here later, so better seal, it's better for us. Yeah, so this is just a little more sculpt mold. I put that foam on there and now we gotta make it look more like a hillside. So if you get that on there, pat it down real good with your fingers. It helps if your fingers are wet. It should start looking like dirt. Alright, coming in here and just hitting it with a real light brown out of the airbrush. Just kind of an all over. Alright, here's a kind of a cool part. We're just going to take these inks from Vallejo, just a yellow, a red, and a green, add a whole bunch of water to them, and then we're going to use it kind of like a wash all over this sculpt mold. Because it's white and it's still semi-porous, it should just take this color real well and make some neat patterns on these rock walls. Yeah, just get it on with a sponge. I think I use a brush later on. It ends up looking kind of cool. And again, just getting it in all the nooks and crannies. Anywhere that there's white left on these rock looking sculpt mold, that's trying to get it in there. We don't want anything looking too plain. Yeah, I'm just going to take some brown paint now and try to clean up where some of the wash ended up on the riverbed. Yeah, we're going to take some of this brown and just try to get into some of these cracks, make it very dark so we get a little bit of contrast from it. Also, anything in between rocks and whatnot, if we just make it black or dark, it's going to be a lot easier. Go through and paint the back brown and then eventually black. So for the sides and the front, anywhere that doesn't look like rock or foliage or something like that, we're just going to paint it black. Make it look like a proper diorama. So for the little bit of foam here that's still pink on the board, we're going to do a brown, white, brown pattern. Just trying to make these rocks look like something. It ends up turning out a little goofy, but you gotta try stuff, you know? Alright, next step on these rock walls is we're going to wash them gray. I'm using a lighter gray here. I end up going darker later on, and it took a bunch of coats to get them where I wanted them to be. It does dull those colors down a lot, but a little bit peeks through. Those colors help to just keep a little bit of visual interest once you're pretty much painting everything gray, you know? Gray, 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 more gray wash. That's right, we're gonna come through and do a little bit of brown on the top, give those hills a better dirt look. Alright, we got most of our painting done. It's time to seal it up. Just use an isopropyl and glue water Mod Podge mix. Alright, here's another fun part. Dry brushing is always cool. Just take a nice light tan, dry brush all the rocks, all the hills. Let's get a little bit of detail on this, see what it looks like. Alright, we finally get into putting some plants down. This is just the Vallejo mud mixture, but I was running out, so I added a bunch of water. That's why it's so juicy, I guess is the word. Oh. As we finish putting our rocks down on the riverbed here, let's talk about some more rocks. This here is just coconut fiber from a big coconut fiber block I shaved up. Some nice fine grade sand. And this is tile grout that I had put some brown paint in, but it really turned out red. But if you mix all those things together, you get a nice looking earth texture. Let's fill the whole thing with Mod Podge and then put some of that texture up on top. Okay, so I wanted on this project to kind of make the sides a little distinct from each other. So over here on this left side, I'm not going to make that mix that I used before. I'm just going to use this coconut fiber. And you'll see, it'll give it a much different look. Right here I left a little channel. I was thinking it could be a stream that flows down into the river. Just kind of a lot of water, really resin on this project. Alright, let's put a little bit of sand on the bottom of this thing. You can see there by the little rocks that we glued down, I threw some sand down. I'm thinking that that could be a protected cove or something of the like. The way the water's flowing, maybe it's not bad there. And then behind these pillars of the aqueduct, I'm trying to create kind of sandbanks for where the water would have rushed by, but not taking the sand. Nice. Alright, we're just using alcohol and PVA here just to seal everything up. Alright, a little bit more Mod Podge down on the top there. We're going to put some bigger rocks and some coarser sand on top. The more layers of stuff that we have on there, the more realistic it's going to look. Alright, it's time for some flock, finally! Let's make this thing green, man. Let's flock the rocks, flock the bridge. Shoot, let's flock the river. Let's flock the flock. Alright guys, I'm using this reindeer moss, I'm pretty sure that's called reindeer moss, as bushes. But just to jazz it up a little bit, we're going to hit it with some cilantro leaves. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, seal it all. Oh, forgot to turn my GoPro off here. Hey everybody. More flock. Alright guys, let's put it in a box and throw it away. Nah, just kidding. We're gonna do a little bit of static grass here. Mod Podge again. Then we gotta get the applicator out. I always have a problem with this thing. I don't know what the deal is. Does work pretty well here though. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit more Mod Podge on top. I've already let this dry before, so now we're just gonna add that and a little more static grass. Give it a little more real feel. You know, unless a guy's coming with his lawnmower to get this all trimmed to the same size. Alright, time for the other side. This side I'm not gonna do the whole thing in grass. Like I said, I want them to be a little visually distinct. Color-wise as well. Once again, I'm just putting a couple small patches of more grass, but it is different colored. It's the same color as the other side. Now another cool part. I got these little plastic trees from Amazon. Just give them a quick paint job. Use that cilantro leaves, and they don't look that bad. Alright, a quick little touch up on the aqueduct. I did call the video the aqueduct build, so I guess I should pay some attention to it. Alright, after a little more IPA and sealant, let's pour a little bit of resin. This blue resin here on the Aqueduct is UV resin. You'll see in a second. I thought I had cured it enough, and then it pretty much spills all the way down the side. Just gonna add a couple fish I got 3D printed and painted up to the riverbed here. Give it a little bit of interest. So I've never really poured a two-part epoxy. I went a little bit overboard here with making sure it wouldn't drip out. Bunch of tape, a whole bunch of hot glue, but there was no leaks. You can see over there on the left, just past that panel I put up, my supervisors are checking in on me. Appreciate the help, boss. Alright, we got our two-part put together. Let's mix it up. Those are just some blue paints. One of them's a speed paint. Moment of truth. Oh, I bet those fish are so happy. I had to mix up another batch of it because I didn't have enough to cover the fish or the rocks. Push it around, make sure you get it on the nooks and crannies. Alright, moment of truth. Come on, tape. Yeah, there it is. Looks good. Alright, we're just going to use some super gloss Mod Podge and make some ripples. Alright, here it is, guys. Thanks for watching, and here's the final product.